Good Day Orlando starts now with breaking news.
Okay, we were in a club and we heard gunshots. Bop, 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 bop. That's all I heard. And then everybody started running. That's all the security was like, run, 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 run.
A horrific scene in downtown Orlando. Police confirm at least 2 people were killed. 6 others were injured by gunfire after a shooting early this morning. A 17-year-old boy is now in custody. And we are getting some new video into the newsroom of some of that chaos in downtown last night. There's the suspect right there. He is circled. He's wearing that yellow shirt in the middle of a crowded street. Police say he took out a gun and opened fire. And watch here as officers take him down.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now!
And the officers did that without firing off any shots. Orlando police sending us this body camera video. Again, a 17-year-old, this young man right here, is in custody. 2 people were killed, 6 others in the hospital. And just moments ago, we heard from Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings.
Well, what I do know is that we have to do a better job of working to the point where individuals make a decision to arm themselves and they make a decision to shoot another person or not. So, in other words, we have to focus on individual types of behavior.
And this is our top story this morning. Thanks for being here for Good Day Orlando Extra. I'm Amy Kaufeld.
And I'm Danielle Knox. We, of course, have been following this story for you all morning long. Right now, we want to get you out to Fox 35 anchor Ryan Elijah. He's live at the scene for us there in downtown Orlando. Ryan, good morning.
Yeah, ladies, good morning. I think a number of things jump out to you. First, how hard this is going to be on the city of Orlando with its image. The fact that a 16-year-old was the gunman in this case. And then, of course, all the lives that are impacted, the 2 lives that are lost. We've learned a lot more about the victims. So we're going to get to that in a little bit. We do want to recap some of the video that we saw. And it was dramatic video. And police released this early this morning, shortly after it happened. We know that first shot ringing out at 1:07. And there was a big question of what happened after that. You see everyone running, which we often see in a crowd. We know one of the victims, we'll get into that, was actually taken to the hospital as a result of being trampled or knocked down. We did highlight the suspect, and you would see if you watch the video and then throughout how quickly they did apprehend the suspect. I mean, the second shot was fired right in front of police, and they wasted no time taking him down at all. So many questions. So let's go to Marley right now, because Marley, we were just talking. One of the big questions I had was if there was a shot and it was this busy, how is it so calm in the second scene? And it sounds like from what you've heard down here that the music was so loud that those people we saw in the video didn't realize there'd been a shooting already.
Ryan, good morning. I've tried really hard to talk to some business owners and to get them to come on the air. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't ready to talk yet. But a few bar owners said the music was really loud, that some people didn't know. They didn't know at some point until police came over and said, hey, you need to turn the music down. We need to do an investigation. And I think that's when really the eyes opened of, oh, the gravity of what just happened. I'm here at the corner of Central and Orange. This is where that first shots fired happened. Right over here by the corner, there's a Taco Bell here. You can see there's some people cleaning the street up. In that video that I've watched, you can see the alleged suspect. He's in a yellow shirt is what police told us. He's walking by with some friends, and then you can see him reach down in his pocket, pull out a gun, and make that shot. Now, I don't know how long that distance is from that first shot to those second shots, which is down the street on Washington, about a block and a half away. That's what we're waiting on from experts and from police. But a lot of craziness and chaos unfolded in between. Take a look at this video. There's a blur on your screen. Right by that blur, you can see the suspect shoot into the crowd and see the people run away. Then look at this video when the suspect shoots into the crowd a second time. You can see the 2 police trucks lined up. The suspect is in a yellow shirt and runs in the bottom right corner. You can see it circled on your screen, police taking him down. And lastly, I want to show you this video of thousands of people running for their lives. It's estimated between 50,000 to 100,000 people were down here to celebrate Halloween. Here's what some witnesses had to say.
Okay, we were in a club and we heard gunshots. Bop, 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 bop.
It's scary. We're trying to leave now. Like, we don't want to be down here no more. We're not coming outside no more.
Certain clubs were kicking people out. Certain clubs were locking everyone in.
When I got here around 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning, we talked to a lot of people that were still in their Halloween costumes. Some people were trying to search for their cars that were parked here along Orange, but unfortunately, Robinson to Church Street was blocked off. So a lot of people were stranded. I saw a girl on the spot crying, trying to get their friends to pick them up. Rightfully so. It was very intense, scary moments. Thankfully, police acted very swiftly and took him down that you saw in that video of that takedown. As far as that 17-year-old suspect, police tell us that he wasn't for long. We also learned that he was arrested back in 2023 on grand theft charges. So police tell us that that is going to be taken into consideration on whether or not he is charged as an adult or a minor in this case. Ryan?
A lot of questions. You got to figure prosecution's going to be pretty aggressive. Marley, thanks for all the information. And of course, for many people, this is a night they look forward to. This is a night downtown where it's one of the busiest nights for police, and there are a wide variety of people, college age and above, that are here. We are learning more about the victims this morning. We'll check in again with Amanda. She is outside ORMC. And Amanda, I know now we have the names of the victims and some of their injuries. We found out that it sounds like most of them were shot, but one was maybe treated for injuries that were not related to a gunshot wound.
That's right. The one that was not shot was trampled in the chaos after the shooting erupted. We are told by ORMC that 9 victims were transported here, and we can confirm that 2 young men were killed. They were 19 and 25 years old. The other victims were men and women ranging in age from 19 to 39 years old. We are told that they are, of the surviving victims, they are in stable condition, which is a broad term for a condition. We are unsure if they are cooperating or even able to cooperate with investigators at this time. I did ask the chief of police if these victims were known to the suspect, but he says that is all still part of the investigation at this time. This was a very crowded mass shooting. Up to 100,000 people were gathered in downtown for Halloween celebrations, and approximately 100 Orlando police officers were working detail. Several officers were just feet away from the gunman when the shooting happened and were able to capture him and take him into custody. Here's what Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith had to say about the instant response.
As soon as they heard the shots fired, you can watch any of these videos. None of the officers, went the other way. They didn't go with the crowd. Most of them, got a little bit of cover between them. They started scanning, seeing what was going on, and then they moved. They took action to keep everybody else safe, and that's what these officers do, and that's their job, and they did it.
It's also important to note that no police officers fired their weapons in the takedown of this suspect. Police are also evaluating whether to increase patrols this coming weekend. As far as a motive is concerned, that is the big question as to why a 17-year-old would open fire into a crowd on Halloween night, killing 2 and injuring 7 others. Reporting live in downtown Orlando, Amanda McKenzie. Ryan, back to you.
Amanda, thanks. Very in-depth reporting. We'll continue to get more answers. But I can tell you, I was one of thousands of parents this morning that woke up and thought, where is my college-age student? If they come downtown late at night, that is a concern. In my case, his friends were downtown. He didn't come. But that is the call that a lot of parents were making. Let's set it up a little bit as to why this has been at the forefront. We've talked about this a lot. Remember 2 years ago, there was the shooting downtown. 7 were injured. The big difference in this case, one for sure, was there was not an arrest in that case. It led to a lot of changes along the way in terms of when bars can actually even open down here. There's been a big legal battle over that. There's also been a question about security checkpoints. There were checkpoints. We're not sure if metal detectors were used or not, but one of many questions, ladies, that will continue to follow, because obviously this is the last thing that anyone wanted to wake up to this morning.
And it's so interesting you say that, because you talk about being able to have checkpoints, right? So when you have a gun and you're going into a club and you've got a metal detector, you can check to see if you have a weapon. When you're in a crowd of between 50 to 100,000 people downtown, how do you check? How do you know? And so I'm certain there are going to be questions raised about how you do crowd control and how you move forward downtown.
Yeah, and they had those 6 security checkpoints, and the goal was the clubs are different. They have their own security. It's much harder to get a weapon into a club. If you've been to those, you've seen it outside. That's why the lines are so long. But they try and get them out of that downtown area. The hard part is they ran into 2 issues. One, there might be a way around it, but more importantly was a potential law about a concealed carry, that they could still stop them from being there. That's something we're going to talk to Dave Benson about more at 10:30, because he's got a little more information than we had before, which is great news. But still more questions than answers right now. And at the end of the day, a 16-year-old that took 2 lives last night.
All right, Ron Elijah, thank you so much, Ron. We appreciate it. The time right now is 10:09. We do have an update this morning. This is the new mugshot for the bail bondsman accused of human trafficking. 75-year-old Russell Moncrief is now sitting in the Orange County Jail without bond. Moncrief is accused of demanding sex from female inmates in exchange for bonding them out of jail. Moncrief has multiple locations in Central Florida, including offices in Orange, Osceola, Brevard, and Pinellas counties. The Metropolitan Bureau of Investigation conducted a 3-year investigation featuring first-hand accounts from several alleged victims. Moncrief faces 3 counts of human trafficking and 1 count of racketeering. If convicted, he could spend up to 125 years in prison.
And there is much more Good Day Orlando Extra still to come, so we're going to take a look at some of the swing states as the election continues to ramp up.
We'll have that story. Plus, this is a live look from our downtown camera this morning and video of the scene there early this morning. Quite the juxtaposition there, as we can tell you that 8 people were shot, at least 2 were killed in the early morning hours. A 17-year-old suspect is in custody right now. We, of course, will continue to bring you live updates all morning long on this story. 10 minutes now after the hour. We'll be right back.
Good Day Orlando is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Welcome back, 10:15 your time. Once again, the Fox 35 Care Force is getting behind the Orange County Mayor's Toy Drive.
So last year, we helped to collect more than 11,000 toys for local children, and David Martin is live this morning in Orlando to kick off this year's campaign. It's hard to believe, David, November 1st, here we are.
Here we are, Amy. And last year, you mentioned those numbers. It was a record-breaking year for the Orange County Mayor's Holiday Toy Drive. And it's my sincere honor and pleasure to once again introduce you to your mayor, Jerry Demings. Jerry, good morning to you. Mr. Mayor, we're going to light up the tree in a second, but let's get some nuts and bolts, as you called it in the industry, some details about how our audience can help out. And it's my pleasure to introduce Amanda Dukes, the Senior Public Information Officer for Orange County. Amanda, great to see you.
It's good to see you, my friend.
Okay, so people are watching. They want to start helping out. It starts today. It runs through
December 9th.
December 9th,
Yes.
And we're looking for presents and toys for kids of all ages, right?
We are ages 0 to 18, David, and there's 2 ways that you can participate. We want to make this easy. First of all, if you'd like to shop online, you can go to our website, ocfl.net/toy drive. We have a virtual store.
Oh.
You can shop from the comfort of your home. It's going to get shipped right to the warehouse.
That's convenient.
Very convenient. Second option, if you're someone who'd like to go pick out a toy, make it a family activity, you can do that. And all we do is we ask that unwrapped new toy be dropped off at one of our 37 locations around the county. Every Orange County library is going to have one of these donation boxes. You can put your toy right in here. Also, several of our fire stations and parks are drop-off locations. Again, ocfl.net/toy drive. You'll find out those locations. And quick ask, we need toys for the infants and the toddlers and the teenagers. We tend to be a little short on those. So teenagers, think sporting gear, makeup for the girls,
100%.
Headphones. And then for the little ones, toys that might be appropriate for a toddler or an infant. Think Fisher Price.
Right. And batteries.
Oh, yes. If the toy requires something additional, like batteries, maybe crayons for a coloring book, please remember those. But we're so excited. We broke a record last year, folks, and we're hoping we can do it again this year.
Our audience is very generous. I know that for a fact. I've met a lot of them who come and do this donation. So let's get this kicked off right.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, bring that plunger back. It's our favorite time of the year when you do the countdown. Should we do it together?
Let's do it.
All right. Want to light the tree and kick this off the right way?
Let's do it.
All right, my friend. Plunge it away and we'll count to 5.
So you plunge first.
Plunge first. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. It's official. Amy and Danielle. The Orange County Mayor's Holiday Toy Drive is underway. We are very excited once again to be partners with the department here, and we're hoping for a record-breaking year. What do you think, Amanda? Are we going to do it?
We are going to do it, and we're going to help even more families right here in Orange County.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Ladies, back to you in the studio.
All right. And more families are in need than ever before, David. So really, that is the onus is on us to help make that happen, right? And please give Amanda a big hug from us. We all love her, David. Thank you.
As well as the mayor.
And the mayor, too.
Yes. Thank you, David. Yes, there you go. We appreciate it. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando this morning, Boeing workers may soon end their strike right before the holiday rush. The details of a new proposal on the table.
And we do have a live look downtown this morning, as well as video from the scene earlier this morning. 8 people shot, 2 of them killed on a Halloween celebration night in our downtown area. A 17-year-old boy now in custody. We will continue to bring you updates on this story throughout the day right here on Fox 35.
For the latest on local and national races, Fox 35 is your home for election 2024. On your phone, on your TV, download the Fox 35 local app.
We're coming up, a woman hired to take care of a senior couple now behind bars. What police say she did that got her into trouble.
It is now 10:26 and you are watching Good Day Orlando Extra. We'll be right back.
I'm Garrett Weimer, Fox 35 digital journalist, streaming on Fox Local.
Good Day Orlando starts now with breaking news.
And the breaking news is a mass shooting in downtown Orlando. Police confirming 2 people were killed. At least 6 others have gunshot wounds, and a 17-year-old boy is in custody. We've been getting some new video into the newsroom of some of that chaos in downtown last night. And you can see the circle on your screen there. That is the young man at 17 years old in the yellow shirt that they say opened fire. And you can see him sort of turning back into the crowd. They believe this right here is the moment where he opened fire into the crowd. Watch now as officers take him down.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now!
Well, that is the body camera video, and you can see it appears to be the gun in his hand as that gun also hits the ground right there next to his body. Orlando police sending this video. Again, 17 years old. He is now in custody. He does have a prior criminal history. We know that he was arrested last year on grand theft charges. 2 people were killed, 6 others at least in the hospital. And just moments ago, we heard from the Orange County mayor about the shooting and safety of downtown.
But people want to be free. They want to enjoy. We went through a hurricane that caused some stress for people. So I think that there was a lot of pent-up type of emotion, and people just wanted to get out and have a good time. And we want people to have a good time in our community, but we want them to do that safely. So it takes all of us trying to come up with some solutions.
Well, thank you again for being here for Good Day Orlando Extra. It's now 10:31. I'm Amy Kaufeld.
And I'm Danielle Knox. We, of course, have been following this story for you all morning long. Right now, we want to go out to Fox 35 anchor Ryan Elijah because he is live on the scene for us this morning. Ryan?
Yeah, ladies, good morning. And if you're downtown, just to set the scene, I mean, if you hadn't watched the news, you don't have a cell phone, you wouldn't know anything happened down here. It's very calm down here. We've seen a lot of police officers, but how things can change in a matter of hours. We've got live team coverage for you this morning. Marley Capper has been on this story all morning long. We've got Amanda McKenzie, of course, following the side of things from ORMC. We know a lot more about the victims now. We're going to talk to Shan Rose, new city commissioner here in the city of Orlando, about police response and about security as well. And we're going to talk to Dave Benson. We now know more than we did just an hour ago when we spoke to Dave. We'll ask maybe what police are looking at in their investigation at this point. We do want to check in with Marley right now because she's been following this since early this morning. And Marley, the one word that stands out, I think that covers it well, is just chaotic.
Chaos doesn't even begin to describe it. When you watch the videos of thousands of people running through the streets, it's very terrifying to watch. I cannot imagine what was going through people's minds when they were actually having to live this. Earlier this morning, I pointed out before the streets got cleaned, candy everywhere, trash everywhere, but also shoes. You expect to see candy and trash after a party, celebration like that. But women's heels, they were taking their shoes off to give them a better vantage point to sprint, I imagine. And there was, the scooters and the bikes all pushed down in the streets. People were going around trying to pick them back up, but that just paints the picture of the pure chaos that ensued last night. Take a look at this video. There's a blur on your screen. Right by that blur, you can see the suspect shoot into the crowd and see the people run away. Then look at this video when the suspect shoots into the crowd a second time. You can see the 2 police trucks lined up. The suspect is in a yellow shirt and runs in the bottom right corner. You can see it circled on your screen, police taking him down. And lastly, I want to show you this video of thousands of people running for their lives. It's estimated between 50,000 to 100,000 people were down here to celebrate Halloween. Here's what some witnesses had to say.
Okay, we were in a club and we heard gunshots. Bop, 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 bop.
It's scary. We're trying to leave now. Like, we don't want to be down here no more. We're not coming outside no more.
Certain clubs were kicking people out. Certain clubs were locking everyone in.
Nightmare that people did not want on Halloween. I'm on the corner of Central here and Orange. Right over here is where that first shooting happened. You can see in that video of the suspect reach for a gun and shoot someone. And then the next shooting happened just a block and a half down on Washington and Orange. So very scary. Now, police tell us that that suspect, that 17-year-old, wasn't in downtown for long. We've also learned that he was arrested in 2023 for grand theft. Police tell us that that will be taken into consideration when thinking about if he should be charged as an adult or not. So very scary stuff, Ryan, very terrifying. Certainly praying for all of those victims who are in the hospital. Ryan?
Yeah, Marley, thanks. I mean, certainly you think of the victims, that is where most of our thoughts are right now. But you think of all the families that woke up this morning wondering if they have a friend, a loved one in downtown. You're talking almost 100,000 people down there. That's been a big part of that. And unfortunately for 7 families, they're waking up knowing that they've got a friend, a loved one that's in the hospital. Amanda's been part of that. She is at ORMC this morning. And Amanda, we're learning more now about these victims from last night.
Officials tell us a total of 9 victims and 2 young men were sadly killed over Halloween night, a 19-year-old and a 25-year-old. Of the surviving victims, it's ranging in age from 19 to 39-year-olds, both men and women. We're told that they are all stable, but that is a very broad term when you're talking about a person's condition, especially from a gunshot wound. So it's unclear if they are choosing to cooperate or if they're even able to cooperate with this ongoing investigation. We are understanding that there are up to 100,000 people in downtown Orlando during those Halloween celebrations, and more than 100 officers were working detail. Several officers were just feet away from the gunman when the shooting happened and were able to capture him and take him into custody. Here's what Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith had to say about the instant response.
As soon as they heard the shots fired, you can watch any of these videos. None of the officers, went the other way. They didn't go with the crowd. Most of them, got a little bit of cover between them. They started scanning, seeing what was going on, and then they moved. They took action to keep everybody else safe, and that's what these officers do, and that's their job, and they did it, and I'm very proud of them.
Now, no police officers fired their weapon during the takedown of this suspect, and Orlando police tell us they are assessing whether to increase patrols over this weekend in downtown Orlando. As for a possible motive, that is still unknown at this time during this investigation, but it is the big question. Just why would a 17-year-old open fire into a crowded space, injuring 9 people, 2 of which died? The relationship, again, still unknown. I asked the police chief if the victims were known to the suspect. He said that is still under investigation. Reporting live in downtown Orlando, Amanda McKenzie. Ryan, back to you.
Amanda, thanks. So many questions. We got Dave Benson here. We're going to talk to him in a second about maybe what police are thinking right now. What dots might they try and connect early in this? Right now, though, we want to talk to Orlando City Commissioner Shan Rose. We've had her on before when she was elected, so let's bring in Shan right now. Shan, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Morning. Thank you for having me. I want to just take a moment and say my thoughts and prayers are with the families, the victims, and also the city. This is a time for us to come together to come up with solutions that will best suit this entire city. And so there's a few things that we are working on. We are working on some immediate solutions, and then we're going to continue to work with the businesses and the community for long-term solutions.
Yeah, Shan, well said. I was just down here last week, was the Magic Home opener, and there were probably 40,000 people walking the streets at 10 o'clock. It was a great crowd. It was senior citizens all the way down to 8 or 9-year-olds were down here. But unfortunately, these are the incidents that they have tried to get out of the city of Orlando downtown. And talk about the police response, first of all, to that. You had 100 officers down there, and while the shooting happened, there was a very quick arrest.
I want to thank OPD and the officers who come out in the nighttime and they protect the city for their swift response with dealing with the situation and reducing as much further negative impact that could have happened. I want to thank the police chief for being readily accessible and making sure that the team is trained properly. We are working with partnerships to do a potential coordinated entry access with some of the small businesses that are downtown. So we are looking at as many avenues as possible to ensure that everyone comes downtown and goes home safely to their family.
Shan, there's already been a 2-year battle going on here, really a legal battle about bars downtown, about keeping things safe. Bar owners, not only they have traumatized workers from last night, but what does this do now between that position with the city, trying to keep things safe down here? And obviously the mayor said a number of times that they have targeted bars, at least bars that are opening new.
So one of the things that, like I mentioned, we have a partnership that we're looking at with coordinated entry access so that we can make sure that individuals come into downtown safely, so that we make sure individuals do not have guns and weapons and that we're keeping everyone safe. Earlier this year, we voted to limit the additional nightclubs opening. So we are taking the steps necessary to keep the city safe, and we'll continue to work with law enforcement and the community.
Shan, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it this morning, and I think it's well said that certainly thoughts and prayers with the victims, and let's hope we can find a solution to this. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's bring in Dave Benson right now. And Dave, first of all, thanks for coming back to talk to us again. You're a downtown resident, which is important to note as well. Let's start with, we can't speculate what would happen, but if you're the mind of a police officer right now, you see a 17-year-old suspect, you see a 19-year-old victim, does the instant dot you want to connect, did he know this person? Did he know the 25-year-old?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So is this an act of targeted and intentional violence, which would show planning, organization, that he expected to have victim or victims here? Or was this a situation where he came upon people that he has a grievance with, a beef with, whether it be drug related or gang related, and open fire based upon that? We don't know, but these are sort of the things that law enforcement is looking for right now. Was there any planning, and then how this was executed, and are there any accomplices or anybody else involved?
And Dave, you've got a unique background with your law enforcement, expansive secret detail that you've had, and you live here. So when you look at this situation, what was it you thought when you first saw this morning? When you look at this a few hours later, where can the city go from here?
Yeah, I think consistency is number one. So we were just talking before with the commissioner about individual clubs. Let's have a consistent response. What does that mean? What is their responsibility? What are they prepared to do? I'll take that one step further, Ryan. If you have an event like this inside your club or outside your club, what protocols and plans do you have in place? What we don't need is 15 different clubs with 15 different response strategies. I understand we had people that were locked inside the club. That works fine as long as the threat's not inside. But then you're denying people their egress to get back out into the street. It's a very thorny issue, so we have to have some consistency here. Certainly the police response was extraordinary under the circumstances, but we need a little help here within the community.
A lot of questions with this. The tragedy is there are people that lost their lives. There are several people that are injured, and there's a 17-year-old that allegedly shot 2 people. What is there a burning question that you see when you see all this?
Well, access to the weapon. How did that happen? Has it been used in a crime before? Did he purchase it legally? Was it stolen? All these things are extremely important in that process, and that will go to this intent piece. Why? What is the point? The nature of some of the injuries, it's too early to speculate, but it sounds like a lot of it was collateral casualties, getting hit in the hand, getting hit in the arm, one person actually being trampled, which is what we were concerned about before. So this investigation is fresh, and so we're going to learn a lot more in the coming days.
Finally, about 30 seconds, there'll be 2 questions. One, about a law about permit carry. Can you stop something like this? There'll also be a talk about, should you have people go through the screening before where there's a metal detector? And then after all that, would this 17-year-old have cared about that and gotten by it anyway?
Yeah, so there's 2 points. If this person was intent upon committing this act of violence in advance, he or she may have already known that there was going to be some security redundancies in place, yet they still chose to do it, and that is having a comfort level with the environment of which they did the attack. That's very normal. The second piece is the new legislation notwithstanding for a permitless carry may or may not have made a difference here. If the person was not legally supposed to have the weapon, if they were, how do you screen that on the spot? So there's lots of different things that need to go into this. It's never just one step. It's never just guns. It's never just response strategies. A lot of it is cooperation from the community to try to keep this area safe.
There are a lot of layers to this. Dave, really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that is the latest from Dave Benson. it's great to hear his insight because there are far more questions than answers, although we've probably got more answers than we've had in some of the past shootings, and certainly there'll be a lot of angles to cover on this, ladies, as we move forward.
Yeah, right. As far as the scene is concerned down there, I know they had everything sort of cordoned off for a very long time. Is everything now sort of back open for folks who work downtown, live downtown?
It is here because there's a couple different locations. Wall Street Plaza is over my left shoulder. Over here at Orange and Central is where the first shooting took place. So everything is back to normal here. You see police patrol down here, but you see that every day. But if you're standing on this corner and you hadn't read the news, you wouldn't know anything took place last night.
Wow, just incredible. And great coverage, Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Oh, thanks.
Well, coming up here in Good Day Orlando, we're going to take a look at some of the swing states as the election ramps up to Tuesday.
We will hear from Fox's Caroline Elliott as she checks in with voters from Georgia. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Early voting ends today in key battleground states like Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia. And Fox's Caroline Elliott is live at a polling location. She's in Georgia this morning. She's got an update on some of those early voting numbers. Hi, Caroline. Good to see you again.
Good morning, Amy. According to the Secretary of State, Georgia has nearly doubled early voting records, and election officials say the state could see a 65% voter turnout by the end of the day.
And that was Caroline Elliott reporting live from Atlanta this morning. Well, coming up here on Good Day Orlando, UCF has a big game this weekend. They're going to be wearing some jerseys that are out of this world, so to speak. We're going to tell you the meaning behind that gear.
We're at 10:49. Good Day Orlando Extra continues after this short break.
For the latest on local and national races, Fox 35 is your home for election 2024.
We start with breaking news tonight.
Fox 35 News exclusive tonight.
I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Join us weeknights on Fox 35 News.
Welcome back. We do have another live view this morning there on the left side of the screen of what it looks like in downtown Orlando this morning. And then on the right side, what it looked like just after 1 o'clock when gunfire rang out during a packed Halloween celebration on our downtown streets. 2 people killed. At least 6 others are in the hospital this morning, and a 17-year-old boy is in custody.
Fox 35 digital anchor Garrett Weimer joins us live to tell us what he has coming up on his show, Fox 35 News Plus. Garrett, good morning.
Good morning to you. We are continuing to track and follow those developments in that Orlando shooting. We will have live reports and also updates, of course, as they come in. We also have a live interview with the Orange County Supervisor of Elections. There is still time to vote early this weekend. What you need to know about that and how they're trying to increase trust ahead of Election Day coming up on Tuesday. That and a whole lot more coming up on Fox 35 News Plus, guys.
All right. Yeah, it is going to be a busy day for sure. Garrett, thank you. And of course, getting back to that big story of the day, this mass shooting downtown Orlando. We want to recap what we know in video. You can see it again showing thousands of people. That is the moment the gunfire rang out, and they are all running in fear during this Halloween celebration. Police say they got those first reports of shots fired about 1:07 in the morning near Orange Avenue and Central Boulevard. About 100 officers were downtown at the time.
They were down there because it was Halloween. They knew there was going to be a big crowd, and then just minutes later, an officer reportedly witnessed a second shooting, this one near Orange Avenue and Washington Street. Police shared this surveillance video with us that shows the moment police took down that suspect. You see it happening right there. They put him in handcuffs. Officers arrested 17-year-old Jalen Edgar. Police say he was previously arrested for grand theft back in 2023.
And more surveillance video shows the moment that the suspect allegedly pulls out a gun and opens fire. Look right here. We freeze framed it there for you. In total, 8 gunshot victims. Again, 2 of them have died. 6 others are in stable condition. They are all at Orlando Regional Medical Center. That is a level 1 trauma unit. According to Police Chief Eric Smith, again, more than 100 officers were downtown last night, and they were prepared to try to keep people safe. And sadly, this happened. Police say they are going to be reviewing the need for even more increased patrols coming into this coming weekend. So we will continue to update you throughout the day. And as you just heard from Garrett there, Fox Local as well.
Absolutely.
And we want to give a shout out to Flagler County this morning. And unfortunately, we were not able to get there today for our Friday Football Blitz because of the breaking news. So we know some of the kiddos are probably disappointed that we weren't able to make it there. So again, we extend our apologies to those folks this morning who were prepared for that. But we want to thank you for joining us today for our breaking news coverage.
And we want to let you know that you can continue to follow the very latest on this breaking news story on Fox Local, of course, and tonight on Fox 35 News at 5 o'clock. There's so many ways that you can stay up to date on what is happening and what has happened in downtown Orlando. And we're about 3 minutes before the 11 o'clock hour. Thank you so much for watching us right here on Good Day Orlando Extra.
And have a great weekend, everybody.